On the right, you might be surprised here. I'm not going for Saka. I'm putting Cole Palmer in there.
You see the t-shirt he's wearing as well, so it's definitely not got a bias
You,
against Arsenal at
you
all.
can't say it's biased because I hate Chelsea just because I hate Arsenal.
Let's do it.
Jermaine Defoe up front.
Imagine coming back from retirement, has an amazing documentary on Netflix, which is absolutely incredible. But yeah, we're here again. We are here again, and we've got my tried and trusted tactics board right here. And obviously, as you can see, starting 11 debate for England. And Travis has very kindly set up his starting 11. I'll hold it for Travis as he talks through his 1 to 11. So, Travis, talk to me. Where are we going with this one?
Okay, so we're going to start at the
Is
back.
it better like that?
Wherever you like.
Yeah, that's cool.
We'll start at the back.
You can see it, right? They can definitely see it.
Number one, I think, is Pickford. He's our goalkeeper
Sure.
all day long, every day of the week.
Do you think there's a lack of quality in England goalkeepers?
I think that's unfair to Pickford. He's never had a bad game for England.
Not in that way, in terms of the fact there's no general competition. Because Ramsdale's barely played all
true.
season.
That's true.
Trafford's at Burnley, who may not even make the squad. And who's the other one? Dean Henderson, always being rotated and injured for Sam Johnston.
Yeah, I think
no one else is playing Champions League football. No one else is at the top level. You're not looking at Donnarumma, Mike Maignan. You're not looking at Neuer, Ter Stegen, that type of thing. You're just looking at Pickford. That's what I mean by that. No disrespect to Jordan Pickford. We love you.
Yeah, fair enough. I can't.
We kick the ball at you at football as well. Yeet it over the ball.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I think the competition has decreased in quality since the last World Cup. I think if you look at the position we're in 2022, Ramsdale was starting for Arsenal. Pope was starting every game for Newcastle. Obviously, he's only not been this season because of injuries. I think the competition was better in 2022, but I don't think that takes away from how good Pickford is and continues to be for England.
Yeah.
And now for Everton as well. I think he's been an underrated goalkeeper in the Premier League for a couple of years now.
One of the best, I would say.
Yeah, so he walks into the team for me. I'm going to go for Luke Shaw at left back.
If fit.
Yep. He's our best left back.
So we're doing this if everyone's fit and available for the first game of the tournament against Serbia. Serbia, yeah.
So if he's fit, you have to play Luke Shaw. Similar to goalkeeper, I think we're lacking competition. For me, I would take Tyrick Mitchell as backup in case he's not fit. Doesn't seem like from the squad Southgate wants to do that. So for me, Shaw walks into the team.
Or Levi Colwill as well.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
My question to you: do you think Jared Branthwaite could play left back for England?
I would.
And do you think Jared Branthwaite could play left back for England? Comment below.
I wouldn't want to shoehorn him in at left back
straight away
because maybe when he's had a few more years in the England team and he's a regular, possibly. But I wouldn't want to shoehorn him in his first couple of years and watch him flounder in that position. Absolutely. With it being not his natural position. Yeah. So I would try and protect him a little bit more, perhaps not do that. Centre back, I think this is the biggest area with which we'll struggle. To start the first game, I would probably go for John Stones and Ezri Konsa.
Konsa centre back?
I would say so, yeah. I'm just looking at the options and there's not really anyone I like better. I think Branthwaite would be the closest competition, but I don't think he's quite experienced enough. And I like Konsa for that reason. He's played a few games for England. He's been in the Premier League for a few years now. So I'm going to go for those two.
Do you think that Konsa gets ahead of Mark Guehi if fit? Because Guehi's had a few England appearances as centre-back already for Gareth Southgate. And we all know Gareth Southgate loves Crystal Palace players. So what do you think?
Personally, I would pick Konsa.
I would too. Over the two, I'd pick Konsa over Guehi.
Yeah, I'm trying to go for what my team would be here rather than Southgate's. If I was predicting Southgate's team, I do think you would pick Guehi.
If Travis had the waistcoat, this is what we would do.
Waistcoat, this is what I'd do. Yeah, I do think Southgate would pick Guehi over Konsa, but just my personal opinion, I'd go for Konsa. But I don't think it's an offensive comparison. You know, if you tell me you like Guehi more, I'm not going to say you're wrong.
What about Harry Maguire? He missed them out completely.
Maguire's a strange one. Similar to Pickford, he's not ever really had a bad game for England.
Because for Man United players, it feels like England is a release from the pressures of Manchester United. So Shaw's thrived at England, Maguire's thrived at England, Rashford has thrived at England previously as well. And I hope the same for Kobbie Mainoo, of course. But with Harry Maguire, he's never really stood a foot wrong for England. He's had a few issues in the past, but I think he's got over that. But still no Harry Maguire for you?
Similar to what I said about Guehi, if you're telling me you'd pick Maguire instead of Konsa, I'm not going to argue against it.
You don't mind it, but it's not for you.
Exactly. I think he's had a decent season, to be fair, with how much United have struggled.
Big comeback in the first half of the season too.
He's, had his own injury struggles as well, but I do think when he's played, he's been okay. So I think he deserves to be in the squad. I just personally wouldn't pick him, but once again, I wouldn't argue to not include him. Right back, I think we have to go Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Trent at right back, even after being considered a midfielder.
It depends who we're playing against. I think
first game Serbia.
First game Serbia, I'm going to take Walker there.
Yeah.
And then
Vlahovic, Mitrovic, very physical. Milinkovic, Savic as well.
Yeah.
Dusan Tadic.
And then I'm going to put Madison a little bit, not Madison, Alexander-Arnold a little bit further forward. I think against the bigger, better sides, I think I'd want a little bit more protection in there. Someone who's a little bit more defensively astute than Trent Alexander-Arnold. So
really, even in midfield,
I think so. I'd put perhaps Mainu in there instead of Trent,
just
so we've got someone who's a little bit more defensive minded. Because we've all seen how good Trent can be going forward. I wouldn't want to kind of take that onus away from him. So yeah, first game, I'll go Walker right back and Trent and Rice in the middle.
Nice.
That's an unbelievable partnership. If you have Declan Rice and Trent Alexander-Arnold, they can both sit and protect. They can both go forward. If you get the chemistry right and they know when to sit and when to go, and to do it in tandem, so they're not both going or both sitting at the same time.
And remember with Harry Maguire as well, the centre-backs can push further forward because they'll have pace on them. Constant and Stones will have pace.
Exactly. If you have Walker here, you can get the centre-backs forward pretty much as you like, because if we have the ball come over the top and they're breaking, Walker's got the pace to recover all day long. So I like that inclusion. I like that midfield duopoly of Rice and Alexander-Arnold.
Love that word. Reminded me of Monopoly.
No, number 10, there's no debate, is there? It's Jude Bellingham.
Oh, you're going Foden in the middle?
No, you've got to have. But where would you play Bellingham if Foden's in the middle?
What's fine.
No Kane.
I'm joking.
Okay. I thought you'd been serious.
Nah, Jude number 10, of course.
Yeah, Bellingham number 10.
Does he wear number 10 for England though? Will that be him? Because Kane wears 9. Foden's may have 7 on it. No, Saka will have 7.
Rashford usually wears 10, doesn't he? So no Rashford.
Rashford wears 11.
Does he?
Yeah, being the left winger. Oh, that's going to be good. Squad numbers. Grealish wore 7 at the World Cup too, so Bellingham might wear 22.
Possibly. He does like that number, doesn't he? So...
He's not going to go for 5. Harry Maguire won't allow him to, or John Stones won't allow him to. Bellingham at 10. Without saying anything that we don't know already, Travis, what makes him special as a number 10 for you? For England.
There's nothing that you can say. He's unbelievable. He's a generational world-class talent. And
do you get the best out of him at number 10?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think with a player like Kane ahead of him, someone who can drop deep and play passes in behind, he's almost the perfect player to play behind Kane, because he likes to get forward, he likes to score goals, he likes to get in the box and be...
Amazing close control too.
Exactly.
Fantastic technical ability.
We've said for England for a few years, we almost need Kane and then another Kane to get on the end of the chances that Kane creates.
Yeah.
Bellingham can be that. We've seen in La Liga this season, he scores goals.
Last minute goals, unbelievable finishes against Barcelona too. Sorry, Sarah, but
exactly. He's a clutch player. He's the perfect guy to play behind Kane for me. That perhaps spoils my number 9, Harry Kane, as if there was ever going to be a debate.
Never in doubt.
On the left, I'm going for Phil Foden. Again, I think he walks into the team based on his performance this season.
You're happy with him on the left?
Definitely, yeah.
He's not performed really well for England on the left, besides probably 2 games in the World Cup. So
this is a different Phil Foden, though. This season, he's a completely different player.
But he's played here. That's what I'm trying to get at. He's played here a lot. De Bruyne's been out. Haaland's been out.
Can't leave Bellingham, though, can you?
Is it going to be one of those where you're trying to fit all the superstars in at once?
Maybe.
Personally, I think because it's worked before for England, to an extent, I think it can still work.
Yeah.
We saw it against Senegal, I think. Saka, Bellingham, Foden, Kane. It worked well. All rotating, Kane dropping in, Saka going through, Foden scoring. That was a great moment for England against Senegal.
Yeah, I think he can do it. I think, like you say, he's not been at his best for England in that position, but I think he will be now, because like I say, it's a different Phil Foden. On the right, you might be surprised here, I'm not going for Saka. I'm putting Cole Palmer in there.
You see the t-shirt he's wearing as well, so it's definitely not got a bias against Arsenal at all.
You can't say it's bias, because I hate Chelsea just because I hate Arsenal. You can't say it's bias. Look, Saka is obviously phenomenal. He's so good, and someone has to be a casualty of this embarrassment of riches that we've got.
But then you have all your players in the front four having the ball to feet. Don't you want anyone trying to break the lines like Saka can with the speed and the pace he's got?
Again, it depends who we're playing against. I think
Serbia, first game.
a team who
Low block, physical.
Exactly, a team with a low block. I think we're going to need a little bit more invention and a little bit more of that cutting edge. Like you say, Saka likes to get in behind and be on the end of the invention from people like Palmer, Foden, Odegaard at club level. I think it's against a team like Serbia, who are going to play a low block, like you say, it's not going to have as much of a chance to do that. They're not going to leave any space in behind.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm taking Palmer for that game. But this is what I love about this squad is we've got the versatility. You know, if you want to switch it up in the last 10, 15 minutes, and instead of having, you know, 3 players who along this midfield line who can cut through a defence and play that killer pass, you can take Palmer out and put Saka in. You can take Foden out and put Gordon in. 5
subs, remember, at the Euros.
There's a lot of tactical versatility that this team can have. And you can even do the same with the defence. You know, if you play, say, Walker, Stones, Maguire, and you want a little bit more defensive solidity, whereas Walker might go forward a little bit more, you can bring him off, put Konsa on, and you've got effectively a third centre-back. I love this squad for that reason. We've got versatility this year. We don't have to play one certain way, and I think that will be reflected in the squad selection.
Speaking of squad selection, it's my turn now, which will be great fun. So I'll let you hold that. Yeah. Thank you very much. So in goal, hold up a bit higher, please. Don't worry, your arm will start singing like mine, which will be good. Jordan Pickford, no doubt about it. England's #1 since 2017. No doubt about who my England #1 is. One of the best England keepers of all time for me. Back four, because I know Gareth Southgate will go for a 4-2-3-1. So I'm going to go for a back four of Kyle Walker, John Stones, Harry Maguire, and I'm going to go with Luke Shaw if they're all fit. So I'd happily go for what's tried and trusted in the first game of the tournament, experience leading the line from the back 5 as well. And I think you can't go wrong with keeping your tried and trusted for this one. I'm a really big fan of Jared Branthwaite, and I think if Maguire isn't fit, I'd like to see Branthwaite and Stones working together, both ball-playing centre-backs out from the back who can get a ball over the top. I think they've got the pace to deal with it as well. If Luke Shaw isn't fit, happy to see Kieran Trippier as an inverted left-back. He's done it at tournament level before for England, tried and trusted. And again, like with Man United players, it's a release playing for England for some of these players, and Kieran Trippier is definitely a part of it. This is where the fun begins, ladies and gentlemen, because I've got a lot of time for Kobbie Mainoo. I think it's absolutely fantastic, but I don't think he starts in the first game for England for me. I'd like to see Declan Rice there as a number 6. I'd like to see Trent Alexander-Arnold given a bit more creative freedom. Can you imagine the creative freedom Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander-Arnold would have in midfield against some of the best teams in the world? I think it would be something that not many teams could handle, especially in our group as well. Serbia, Denmark, and Slovenia, they're going to have tough times against a low block team. These two in midfield, I think they'll be absolutely fantastic. This is where I'm going to be a bit rogue, a bit bold. On the right, number 7, I'm going to go for Phil Foden on the right-hand side. I'd love to see him working with Trent, with Bellingham. I think that axis there will be absolutely fantastic. Got the defenders up a bit higher, Pickford higher as well. Foden, Bellingham, Trent. Trent can cover and he can overlap as well as a second right winger, as a false right winger in a way, crossing the ball into Harry Kane, who of course is going to be my number 9 striker. You've got Foden playing there, Bellingham playing there. And as an outlet, as opposed to Bukayo Saka, I like to start Anthony Gordon for the first game of the tournament for England. I'd love to see him against Serbia, against an aging defence, someone who can actually take the ball on properly, really good one-on-one as well, and has got blistering pace. And a lot of people don't notice that about Anthony Gordon. He's got lungs for days, really good end of the season too. So I'd like to see Anthony Gordon on the left, Jude Bellingham, Phil Foden on the right, and Trent Alexander-Arnold just like that, with Declan Rice holding, Shaw having freedom to go up and down, Kyle Walker got freedom to go up and down, and Harry Kane able to drop in, having the likes of Anthony Gordon going through, Bellingham going through for more, and seeing Phil Foden looking to create in small pockets of space as well. Let's hear your thoughts on that, Travis.
My only thought, I like that team. I do like that team.
Sorry, we both dropped Saka, Arsenal fans, so I apologise. I know you want Saka. Comment below if you want Saka in this team.
I like this axis you talk about with, I think, the idea of Trent overlapping Foden and Foden being able to cut into the middle. That sounds dangerous to me. Very, very dangerous.
A lot of England goals comes from crosses as well, from corners, from free kicks. Why not have someone who can do elite crossing like Trent Alexander-Arnold can on the wings.
It's not just Kane as well. Kane and Bellingham getting up here on the end of these crosses from Trent.
Later on from Declan Rice too, every now and then.
On the edge of the box. That's two dangerous players there. My only concern with this is if you have this axis that's so centred on the play going through the right-hand side, Trent up here, Foden cutting inside, Kane and Bellingham getting to the box. Rice has a lot of covering to do. A lot of covering. And I think we know Gordon is the kind of player who likes to hug the touchline. He likes to get in behind and play very high up the pitch. You're then asking,
but he also tracks back very well.
He does. But you're then asking a half-fit Luke Shaw and a half-fit Harry Maguire.
And a half-fit John Stones.
And a half-fit John Stones to cover any counter-attacks. And I guess this is why I have Kyle Walker, because he gives you that recovery pace.
Yes.
But
and against Serbia as well, you've got Tadic on the wing, you've got Milinkovic, Savic. We won't have that much pace to deal with. Vlahovic starts on the bench as opposed to Mitrovic, who starts for Serbia as well. So that's why I think for this first game against Serbia, this would be a really good team. Tried and trusted at the back and a bit more fluidity up front.
I do like it. I just worry a little bit about us needing a bit more protection in this sort of area of the pitch, but I like it. I think it could work.
Bring on Manu at half-time. That's what you'll have to see. Agree or disagree with our teams? We'd like to hear yours. Comment below.